You can skip the fancy restaurant and have your own gourmet dinner at home with these bacon wrapped scallops, topped with an addicting garlic butter sauce, pan-seared until a gorgeous golden crust forms, and they're actually super simple to make. Hey there, I'm Lennon Brazil from Evolving Table, and if you're looking for an elevated dish to impress some dinner guests, then these bacon wrapped scallops are just the recipe that you need. Today we'll be going over the best type of scallops to use, how to wrap them up in bacon so they don't fall apart, as well as the perfect way to cook them so they come out buttery and flaky and not rubbery or tough. So if you're ready to get to cooking, then come on in and let's get started. Let's first take a look at the best type of scallops to use for this recipe. You'll want to make sure and purchase sea scallops and not bay scallops. Sea scallops tend to be on the larger side and will be easier to wrap in bacon. It's also best if you purchase scallops that are about 10 to 12 count per pound. Not only is it easier to wrap them up, but this extra weight will also give you a little wiggle room so you're less likely to overcook them. Lastly, it's always better if you can use dry packed scallops instead of wet. Wet have been injected with a phosphate solution that does extend their shelf life, but it adds an extra 30% in weight of just water. Once you've got 1 pound of scallops selected, it's time to start preparing them. And y'all, there's 2 steps that you must follow, so please don't skip these. First, you'll want to remove the tendon. Almost all scallops have a tougher tendon or side muscle. You can find this by looking down on the scallop and locating a long, thin flap of harder meat. To remove it, simply peel it back like you would the peel of an orange. Next, pat the scallops dry. In order to get a really good crusty sear, you will need to dry them completely. Any excess moisture will give you a mushy exterior instead of a crusty sear. While scallops are, of course, the main star of this show, think of the bacon you choose as more of the supporting actress. The scallops will only taste as good as the bacon that they are so lovingly surrounded by. So make sure that you pick out a really good high-quality piece. If you happen to be on a Whole30 or a paleo diet, make sure you look for a bacon that is prepared without nitrates or added sugar. Add as many pieces of bacon as you have scallops to a large stainless steel or cast iron skillet. Cook over medium-low heat for 10 to 12 minutes. You want the bacon to be almost cooked through but still pliable. Remove the bacon from the skillet and let drain on a paper towel lined plate. Once it's cool to the touch, wrap 1 piece of bacon around each scallop. Secure the bacon with a toothpick. Be sure to place it in the very end of the bacon, through the scallop, and out the other side through the bacon. Repeat with all of the bacon and all of the scallops. In a small bowl, add 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 clove of crushed garlic, 2 teaspoons of coconut or brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a pinch of black pepper to taste. Whisk until well combined and set aside until ready to use. Place another large and clean stainless steel or cast iron skillet over medium to medium-low heat. Don't use the bacon grease skillet. The scallops will end up sticking to the burnt bits on the bottom of the pan. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of high smoke point oil, such as avocado or safflower oil. You want just enough so it coats the bottom of the skillet. And one thing to note here, we are using oil and not butter to pan-sear the scallops. Butter has a very low smoke point and will actually burn at high heats. So we'll save that delicious garlic butter sauce to add a little bit of flavor at the very end. Let the oil begin to sizzle before adding in the scallops. And try not to let any of them touch. If your skillet isn't large enough, you may need to cook them in 2 batches. Cook scallops for 3 to 4 minutes per side, or until golden brown and the internal temperature reaches 120 degrees. Brush the butter garlic sauce on top during the last 1 to 2 minutes of cooking. Remove the scallops from the skillet and let rest for 5 minutes. The internal temperature will continue to climb another 5 to 10 degrees. Serve bacon wrapped scallops with a sprinkle of fresh parsley and a lemon wedge. Oh yeah, this would totally not be acceptable at a restaurant. Oh my goodness, these are so good. They're so flaky and tender and buttery. They taste gourmet, but guys, we just whip these up in like no time. If you want a few easy vegetable ideas to go alongside these bacon wrapped scallops, make sure you check out these other delicious side dish recipes. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one.